Welcome to Pod Applaud, the Monday through Friday podcast that aims to enable your podcast habit. I'm your host, Seb, and today we're going to talk about the podcast Fan Theory World. Fan Theory World is a conversational podcast between two buddies that looks at the theories people conjure up about their favorite shows, films, and other media franchise. They currently have a large 90-episode backlog and put out a new episode every week. The show usually runs between 45 minutes to an hour long. I came across Fan Theory World on Twitter the other day, and I was very intrigued. I've always been a big fan of fan theories, crossovers, and continuity-type Easter eggs. So, I queued up a couple episodes for downloading right away. Turns out, I have listened to the show before. Last time I got a new phone, I lost my previous podcast subscriptions, and this was one of them. So, it was like being reunited with an old friend. Speaking of friend, Eric and James are long friends, or at least it definitely seems like it. They have a great rapport on the show, and the conversation flows very naturally. There isn't really any top of the episode dilly-dallying. They get right into the subject matter on hand. The episodes are very focused, and there's no filler or meandering. They manage to have their characters shine through without bogging down the show at all. Each episode, they will have a topic like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Quentin Tarantino, Pokemon, or any other kind of pop culture is fair game. They quickly introduce the topic, talk a bit about it, share their relationship to the material, and get right into their favorite theories. After discussing their favorite theories, they take turns sharing additional theories one at a time. After a sufficient amount of theories have been swapped, they mix it up by getting into the real weird and wacky ones. Then, they finally wrap up the show with a brief summary of their thoughts and call it a day. Despite the length of the show, it flows so smoothly, and I find it interesting enough that each episode seems to go by in half the time. The audio is pretty good. Sometimes the two hosts have a different quality of audio or microphone, it seems. But it is not distracting enough for me to notice after I listen for a minute or two. I like that Eric and James are not fazed by going back and recovering certain topics when they have not completely covered it before or have dug up some more clever theories. For example, they revisited the wizarding world of Harry Potter in anticipation for the Crimes of Grindelwald movie. Many theories that are brought up on the show can be found scattered online, and you may have heard them before, especially if you are quite fanatic about the topic at hand. But sometimes, theories are complete originals, since the hosts have a keen eye after so much time living in the theory world and thinking about these things a lot. Okay, here on Pod Applaud, I rate shows on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is silence, 2 is a slow clap, 3 is applause, 4 is a round of applause, and 5, of course, is a standing ovation. I give Fan Theory World a 4 to 5. It's a lot of fun to speculate and pick at the loose ends of fictional worlds. I would recommend this show to all pop culture fans. Just be aware, if you are completely immersed in fan communities or the source material online, you just may be familiar with many of the theories already. So, that's been the show for today. I hope you found it valuable. If you wish to reach out to me, you can find me on Twitter at podapplaud or send an email to podapplaud@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and please tune in again.